A couple of ducats, a little bit of, okay, one more time. Hi everyone, my name is Chris, and welcome to this week's anime debate. This week it is not a topics, it is an actual showdown. Oh yeah, so you like that? We're getting right into it right now with Hunter x Hunter versus Hunter x Hunter from the 90s. Now, why does this show have two versions of itself? Well, let me tell you. In the 90s, the show came out and they caught up to its manga and they just stopped. So then they brought the show back in 2011 and they're like, all right, let's catch up. Let's do some more. And they just start over from the beginning because it'd been like, what, 10 years since the last one came out? So they just went all the way into it and like, hey, let's just start this out from the jump. Let's follow the manga very closely and let's keep this pace fresh, fast, and moving. And that's what they did. They kept it going. Boom, 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 boom. Like let's say the 90s series probably covered way less than half of what the 2011 series did in like 2 episodes. Like, it took the 2011 series like 1 episode to cover 3 of the episodes in 90s. It's crazy, but it's freaking awesome and it works well and it's super well executed. Alright, so what is the plot of this series? Well, a young boy by the name of Gon goes on a journey to be just like his father, a famous hunter. Thing is, he was never really raised with his dad. His dad basically abandoned him from birth. And he grows up thinking, oh man, I'm gonna be just like my dad one day. And then he finds out, and this is where the show kind of deviates a little bit. It's not even really a deviation, it's just a different way of storytelling. So when the 90s show opens up, you see a slow moving cascade. You see an atmospheric buildup. You see Gon on a tree sitting there just kind of, you know, doing his thing. And he happens to, through some things I won't explain, come across a guy by the name of Kite who tells him his dad's alive because he grown up thinking his dad was dead the entire time. You're like, what? My dad's not dead. He didn't abandon me. Well, okay, I'm gonna go try and be like him. Being a hunter must be that awesome that I have to go follow in his footsteps. And you go start going right into his adventure from there. You see him work to become a hunter over time. You see him do what he has to do to build that way. And it just takes a much, much slower path. Now, in the 2011 series, the plot opens up just like that, but they skip over the beautiful cascades. They open up right away with Gon over there sitting on the little tree doing his thing. He just kind of jumps right into the adventure of it and goes on his journey. He's now of age to go and do it. It reminds me a lot of Pokemon when they say, well, now that you're this age, you can go on your adventure, you can go do your thing. And then Ash is like, cool, I'm gonna be like my dad and be a great freaking Pokemon master. But in this, you find out much later through the series, the flashbacks will tell you the rest of the story that the 90s series is open into right away. And that's kind of a cool storytelling plot because you don't really get to know the characters until you really follow them on the journey. It's kind of like being with them in real life. It's like you don't know your friend's entire backstory from day one. You don't know everything about them. But over time it unravels as you talk to them more, you let them tell their stories to you. And this show, the 2011, does an excellent job of doing that. Because when I first saw the 90s series and then started watching 2011, I'm like, man, they took a lot of stuff out. But they didn't. They just told the story in a much different format, which I think works for this series. Now, getting into things like characters, most of the same characters are here. The 2011 series obviously has more because it lasted a lot longer, over 140 plus episodes, and then obviously the 90s series had about 60 episodes, so we're not going to really compare characters at all. This is a very different comparison than anything else. So what I'm going to tell you guys is that this show has great characters that you fall in love with right away, depending on which series you watch first. Because I feel like it's kind of cool to watch the 90s series first, get all this backstory, get all these feels for these characters, then go watch it in their sped up formats and go, oh man, it's really cool what I know about you already. It's like kind of like seeing like a fast forward a little bit. And then as it unravels, you're really impressed with the way they tell the story differently in the 2011 series. But again, the biggest difference here is the pacing. They also, I will say, in the 90s series, added in a couple of small things here and there that didn't take away from the series at all. Like they did their filler really well. Like the 2 things they added are worth watching. So if anyone tells you, you can skip the 90s series, don't listen to them, check it out, because it totally feels like a different show. Again, it's very of its era. Now, another thing I'll say that was very different from the 2 shows was the music. I love the freaking music in the 2011 series. It gets me pumped, gets me excited. It reminds me of Fairy Tail and a lot of other shows that I watch now. It's just super pumpy awesomeness. Like the theme song, which doesn't really change throughout the series, it is freaking great. And I'll say that because of the way that the show was made in the 90s, which is again in very 90s fashion, where it was kind of, to some degree, being an homage to Dragon Ball, the music was a lot less upbeat, a lot more somber, but it also draws you into the emotion of things. Like, I felt a lot more emotional watching the first couple of episodes of Hunter x Hunter 90s than I did watching the 2011 series. I felt more pumped up in 2011, but in 90s I'm like, man, I feel the feels, but I'm also kind of tired. Not gonna lie about that. That's another thing, along with the pacing and the music. The 90s series feels a lot more somber. I don't feel as excited to really do anything. I don't really feel like I'm going along the journey. I feel like I'm just watching a show. In the 2011 series, I feel like I'm a part of their freaking lives, and it's so freaking incredible. I don't even want to spoil a single thing about this show for anybody, to be honest, so I'm being very sparsy with the details because I just don't want to ruin anything. But I will just say that when you see these shows, trust me, it is worth your freaking time to really immerse yourself in the world that they create. I'm now going to jump into a little bit more of the story and tell you that in the 2011 series, there is an arc that you will freaking fall in love with. I promise you, like, the show starts out a little bit slow at first, right? But it starts to pick up very quickly. When it starts picking up, it picks up hard, like super hard. Like, I'm not gonna say anybody dies, but people die, and you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And also, there is an arc where they actually follow like one of the villains of the show, and you again fall in love with the villains. Like, you fall in love with everybody in this show, which never happens. You know what I mean? Like, I hate you, villain. You're a bad villain. You're a bad person. But you actually feel for the villain in a freaking show, and that is just the best way to tell you anything about it. But watch it. It's called the Chimera Ant arc, and it will do things to you. Okay? It will do things to you. It will change you as a person in the way you might view not only yourself, but also anime as a whole. And I'm not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating. One of my followers here on YouTube told me to watch this show over and over and over again. I'm like, I'll get to it. I'm watching a little bit at a time, and I was watching it very slowly. I started watching the 90s series. That's what I found on YouTube. But then I found out, oh, there's another series on Netflix that looks more updated. I'll watch that one. And when I started watching that one, I'm like, oh my Lord, you changed my life with this show! The art in the 2011 series is just nothing short of impeccable and incredible and awesome. It looks great, it's fluid. I just can't say enough about it. The character designs are great. And I'll say this too, the 90s series, not too shabby either. They basically kind of took the same designs and updated them for, you know, this generation's anime fan. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they maybe changed some hair colors, they maybe changed a couple things here and there, the lines are crisper, but ultimately the designs are mostly the same. And there's nothing really to compare there because it's just 90s art versus 2011 art, and 2011 art is gonna win because it's better. But, the aesthetics that are brought about in the 90s series are still very beautiful and moving. And that's something I must push over and over again. Very, very moving, okay? And that's the thing. I feel like the 90s series does a great job at tugging our heartstrings immediately when the show starts, and again, immersing us in the characters, and really developing people right away. Like, I felt like I knew who Gon was and understood his character so much more in the 90s series from the first few watches, right? But then as you continue to watch the 2011 series, he unfolds over time, like I said earlier. So it's a much different way to tell the story, but it's still very effective. You just don't feel as close to him initially. But other than that, that's what we have, guys. Both shows are incredible. Both shows are worth your time, and both shows are worth watching. And I will say, and I've said this before about other shows, but I really do mean this, this is one of the best anime I've ever watched in my life. And the fact that both series managed to somehow keep up this level of quality is nothing short of impeccable. The only sad thing is that the manga isn't really finished yet because the mangaka keeps getting sick. Well, not keeps getting sick, but he's sick. He's still sick. But he's simply in his spirits. He's also the same guy that came up with Yu Yu Hakusho. So you already know he's gonna make some quality work here, guys. So I think it's worth supporting. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now that between Hunter x Hunter 90 series and Hunter x Hunter 2011 series, 2011 wins. But surely for the fact because they get to finish the story, and surely for the fact that the art is incredible, and surely for the fact that their pacing is so freaking good. Like, the pacing is the only thing in the 90s series I can really criticize, is that it was so slow. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can you pick it up? Please, I'm literally getting bored right now. Like, you're literally spending this episode talking, and that's all you're doing. Okay, do something else, do something else, do something else. But when you see it in comparison to the new series, it makes you appreciate those slower moments. So watching them as companion pieces is awesome. My suggestion is to actually watch the 90s series first and then go back and watch the 2011 series, because I think that it'll just make you appreciate what happens in the 2011 series a lot more, because you'll see the sped up everything just feels so good now after you went through the drudge of the slower stuff. Now, if you get bored while watching the 90s series, I will not blame you. Go watch 2011 and then go watch the 90s. You'll be more invested probably. But ultimately, between the two series, 2011 is definitely the better series, but it doesn't hurt to really appreciate both of them. And it's not like a thing where like one sucks and one is like great. They're just very different things and very different for their times. They are of their times, really. Like like 90s wise, I would say that Hunter x Hunter probably beats out most anime I've seen in the 90s. But 2011 wise, Hunter x Hunter beats most anime, period. And that's a big charge to make. But once you see that freaking ant arc, you know what I'm talking about. So go watch this show. You'll have a great time, and I promise you guys, I'll be here cheering you on for the next anime debate. Please let me know down below what you want to see me compare next. Take two series that you love, smash them together, and let me know which ones do you think are better, worse, or otherwise. Have you ever seen Hunter x Hunter? If you're not watching it, why aren't you watching it? Go watch it now. Don't be like me. Go watch this thing. This show needs a dub. And no, people hate dubs. Okay, whatever, guys. But a dub equals exposure. A dub equals DVD sales. A dub equals more money going to the pockets of people that make these shows and allows it to get freaking known by other people. People need to know about this show. It is one of the greatest anime of all time, literally. And it's a shame that it's not getting the love it deserves. So if you love Hunter x Hunter, do what I do and yell it to the masses. This show is incredible and it needs to be seen by all. Parasite the freaking Maxim get a dub already. What? What? I love Parasite the Maxim. I've done a review. Go check it out. But there's no way this show even compares to this one. No way. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, guys. Let me know down below what you want to see me, review next on Anime Debate. I'll see you guys tomorrow for something weird, and then another Monday for Nerd Motivation. Thanks a lot, guys. Also, side note, this show's been brought to you by Audible. If you guys like books, go check them out. I got a little affiliate code down below. If you guys want to make me a couple ducats, a little bit of, okay, one more time.